asi tinokutenda nokuti tapiwa chikafu.
Nhasi ndiri kufara ndaona chikafu chandapiwa.
Tiri kufara kana chikafu chauya kudai so tinoti hurumende yatiuka.
Nhasi tasvika mukuguta izvo tada toti tizvigadzire tiende kuzvigayo. Aiwa tinotenda chose tiri kufara chose munhu wese awana.
Tanga tine nzara isingatomboiti asi tapuwa chikafu chedu che3 months.
That concludes our constituents talk from Rewa West. For more engaging content, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, goodbye for now.
Shop and get great savings from the one that gives you real value always. TM Pick and Pay. It's time for the news.
Good evening and welcome to the main news. I am Tariro Manamiki with Noble Mawungwa at the Sign Language Desk.
And I'm Justin Mahlahla. Will be joined later on from our Montrose studios by Marilyn Ngwenya. These are our top stories tonight.
SADC Industrialization Week ends with more than 3,600 delegates taking part.
And in business, former United Kingdom Mayor Councillor Tafadzwa Chikoto charmed by Second Republic policies.
And in sports, the 2024 Chibuku Super Cup draw separates giants in the first round.
We get straight into our first story, where the 7th SADC Industrialization Week, which ended in Harare this Thursday, has been described as a success. More than 3,600 delegates took part in the annual event.
Over 3,500 delegates, including more than 260 exhibitors, were part of the SADC Industrialization Week, which also saw the country's biggest industrial body, the Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries, CZI, assuming the chairmanship of the SADC Business Council.
This year's SADC Industrialization Week was a resounding success, recording a total of 3,500 participants from the region and beyond. The forum observed that the success was attributed to the high-level commitment from the government of Zimbabwe and its close collaboration with the local private sector. Therefore, it is strongly recommended that going forward, this should be the minimum for hosting future SADC Industrialization Week events.
SADC economies are confident that Zimbabwe will further scale up the industrial productivity thrust as the chair of the Regional Bloc Business Council.
The hospitality and warmth extended to all participants have made this experience not only productive, but also amazing and memorable. The Republic of Zimbabwe's rich cultural heritage and natural beauty have further enhanced the impact of this event, reminding us of the beautiful fauna and flora our region possesses.
The SADC Industrialization Week also attracted the interest of several regional and global investors in a move that confirms Zimbabwe as a safe and viable business destination.
We witnessed the showcasing of products from all 16 member states. You will agree with me that the exhibitions were oversubscribed with a total of 267 exhibitors. let me recognize the outgoing chair of the SADC Business Council, who has laid a foundation which the Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries, CZI, will tap into as they assume chairmanship of this important role.
Takeaways from a declaration released during the closing ceremony of the Industrialization Week include the need to include private sector participation in economic affairs, the need to address funding challenges facing firms, minimizing barriers to improve trade, investment and knowledge-driven economies, capacity building for emerging firms, and adopting clean energy systems, among others. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce has rallied similar organizations in the region to foster the implementation of policies by SADC member states in accelerating the economic growth agenda. More details in the following report.
Chamber associations from the region underscored their unwavering commitment to collaborate and ensure that they drive the SADC industrialization agenda. This emerged at a breakfast meeting held by the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce as part of the SADC Industrialization Week.
It is not merely a gathering of minds, but a strategic forum where regional chambers of commerce and industry, together with the regional public and fellow private sector stakeholders, convene to discuss pressing issues, share best practices, and explore collaborative opportunities.
This, ladies and gentlemen, lays a wide opportunity for the chambers and business councils to work together and hold hands as we strive to find solutions for our common challenges as a continent.
Investing in the circular economy and green energy solutions are essential strategies we must embrace when tackling climate change.
Government also commended unit of purpose to drive industrialization of the region.
This breakfast meeting is one such activity that will be able to broaden the platform for engagement while focus on issues that are key to the sector. Today, we will be discussing two vital issues that have driven economies and regions to prosperity, lifting multitudes from poverty and extending a global reach by some countries.
Also under the spotlight during the meeting was the need to harmonize trade regulations in the region to create a level playing field to enhance regional trade. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has signed a book of condolences at the Embassy of Indonesia in Zimbabwe following the death of Indonesia's former Vice President Hamza Haas on the 24th of July.
Speaking after signing the book of condolences, Vice President Chiwenga traced the relationship between Zimbabwe and Indonesia since the Asia-Africa Bandung Declaration.
The Republic of Indonesia and the Republic of Zimbabwe are both members of the South-South Cooperation. And it was in Indonesia that in the Bandung Declaration that the non-aligned movement was established. And so from there, at that time, we were just a liberation movement. And we have been with Indonesia from that time to the present day.
Vice President Chiwenga said Zimbabwe and Indonesia continue to cooperate in various sectors that include health, agriculture, and manufacturing as they seek to deepen economic cooperation.
Our cooperation with Indonesia is unparalleled. And we have had, we continuously have high-level visits from Indonesia and vice versa from Zimbabwe to Indonesia, cooperating in the various areas, medicines, agriculture, manufacturing, and our cooperation is going to increase by the day. As you might be aware, I was in Indonesia 2 years ago, yes. And we have had visits from Indonesia, at the highest level coming to Zimbabwe. So the cooperation between Zimbabwe and Indonesia is very high.
The late former Vice President Hamza has died at the age of 84 on the 24th of July and served as 9th Vice President of Indonesia from 2001 to 2004 during President Megawati Sukarno's administration. John Nandara, ZPC News, Harare.
The government is now shifting focus to the roads in the suburbs of Harare after meeting the timeline set to rehabilitate all access roads leading to the greater Harare city. Owen Mandova reports.
This Thursday, a section of the Nemakonde Road, formerly Lomagund Road in Harare from 2nd Street to Harare Drive, opened to traffic after being rehabilitated into a 4-carriage way in accordance to SADC standards, much to the excitement of motorists.
Tongodawo kutenda baba wedu vamunangagwa president nechirongwa chakadai chekugadzirwa kwemarodhi. Marodhi yanyatso kugadzirwa zvakanaka zvokuti vheni kufamba kwacho kwanyore. Time yataitora apa tichidai so neyatiri kutora tichidaiwo so.
Transport and Infrastructural Development Minister Honorable Felix Mona revealed that the road rehabilitation program continues with focus shifting to roads in the neighborhoods.
To the people of Zimbabwe and in particular Greater Harare, where we're using some detours and I've been getting a number of inquiries pertaining to how we are going to rehabilitate. We are not just having the roads back to their original state because they were mushrooming potholes all over. But we are going to rehabilitate to be state of the art in terms of road rehabilitation program. So we are busy compiling a list of those roads that we're using as detours. But not only Great Harare, but even the locations. We are here talking of Warren Park, Dzevarasekwa. We've got some problematic roads. But the desired goal of the ministry is to say all those leading from Great City to our locations used by public service vehicles, we are rehabilitating. Minister
of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Harare Province, Senator Charles Tawengwa spoke on the realization of Vision 2030.
Vanhu vanoti kurota handiti the vision. Zvakafanana nemunhu akarara ari kurota. Orota kuti famba mugwagwa wakanaka fanika zvati patiri pana. Oti pamwe ndiri kuDubai. Asi apa tiri kuti hakusi kurota. Chimuka chipepuka. This is reality, this is life, this is real.
Government is working tirelessly to ensure that it realizes its vision of an upper middle income society by 2030 and is creating strong economic enablers which include a modern and revamped roads infrastructure in order to sustain that vision. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
In a related report, public transport operators have made a commitment to maintaining order and keeping Harare clean during the SADC Summit month and beyond.
With Zimbabwe hosting the SADC Summit this August, a collective effort is underway to make the regional event a success, and the top priority is ensuring order and discipline, especially among public transport operators. A survey conducted by the ZBC News in Harare's bus terminal shows a bit of responsibility, with the public transport operators pledging to uphold order and cleanliness throughout the summit month and beyond.
Tine marengi inspectors vanenge vachiita kuti mota dzedu dzishande dziri mumarengi kana marengi mumazarisa tiri kudziburitsa dzichienda kuholding bay kuColcom. Zvatiri kuita izvi hatisi kuzviitira SADC Summit chete, toda kuti guta redu rigare rakachena, kusanganisira nyaya yemarara chaiyo chaiyo. Toda kuti marengi edu agare akachena, saka tine maposters esummit atakaita, asi tiri kutotaura pamaposters iwayo kuti vanhu ngavarege kuita littering.
We are working with the authorities, we are working with ZRP, we are working with VID to make sure that whatever that is required of us is in place in terms of compliance, number one. Number two, we have increased the number of our inspectors in our ranks to make sure that no harassment, no bad language, no bad behavior in our ranks, which make follow-ups in every route, to make sure that we don't have touts or youth hanging over the bumpers.
Government is rolling out several initiatives to transform the country's public transport system, including a road rehabilitation blitz, which has been identified as a key conduit for development. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The government says security forces are ready to deal with rogue elements who are planning to destabilize peace in the country ahead of the SADC summit.
While addressing the media in Harare this Thursday, the Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Kazembe Kazembe, reassured the nation of continued peace and tranquility, saying the security sector will exercise its constitutional mandate to protect national interests in its various forms.
It is our role to protect the massive infrastructural outlay that the Second Republic has invested in within the shortest period in power. Any attempt at sabotaging the visible developments would be confronted head-on. Equally, the security sector remains committed to ensuring that the general citizenry continues with their economic and social activities without interruption.
He added that they are aware of the relentless efforts by some misguided political activists who are trying to cause unrest and disturb the smooth hosting of the SADC summit.
Allow me to sound a candid and stern warning to those bent on disturbing our peace and tranquility. Let me categorically disabuse those nursing a misguided perception that the presence of the international community in the country during the summit presents them an opportunity to inflict reputational damage on the country without consequence. The security cluster is aware of the secret meetings being held locally and outside the country by those seeking to unleash civil disobedience. We already know the personalities and the institutions that they front. We are also aware of those giving them logistical and financial support. We have also established their modus operandi, which includes hiring taxis to ferry demonstrators.
Minister Kazembe emphasized that spoilers and anti-development-minded forces shall be dealt with decisively. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
The Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jenfan Muswere, also reiterated the message in a statement issued yesterday in which he emphasized that government is aware of the machinations of opposition elements and the country's detractors.
We would like to commend all Zimbabweans for the hospitality and peace and tranquility that we continue to enjoy in our country. But we are also fully aware of futile machinations by failed opposition elements and archbishops of anarchy and despondency, who are disguising themselves as members of the clergy and working together with some rogue student cashivists and a non-diplomat to discredit Zimbabwe's integrity. To this end, the full might of the law will be deployed to ensure peace and tranquility, which is an inherent national character in terms of our sovereignty. At the same time, the media should focus its agenda setting on Vision 2030 and the development trajectory which our nation continues to enjoy under the leadership of His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. His tried, trusted, and tested economic revolutionary credence continues to be the guiding tower to prosperity and preservation of our national liberation legacy. Let us work together in solidarity and focus on the future of Zimbabwe by ensuring that our efforts today will secure a prosperous tomorrow for all.
On the same note, some opposition activists attempted to stage an unsanctioned demonstration in Murewa, Mashonaland East Province this Thursday, but their efforts were met with resistance from the people.
panapa sema-youth ZNPF tazviramba because isusu president wedu toti vagadzwa vave SADC chairperson.
The First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa has been commended for being a champion of women empowerment in Zimbabwe through her Agric for She initiative that has catapulted many women countrywide into the economic mainstream through agriculture.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is also the Agric for She patron, was filled with joy after coming face to face with the fruits of the Agric for She farming initiative at a field day held in Rushinga this Tuesday. The mother of the nation's first port of call was Nyamuwe Garden, a hive of agricultural activities including horticulture and fish farming. Nyamuwe Garden is endowed with inviting vegetables including pumpkin leaves, rape, tomatoes, cabbages, okra, onions, watermelons, tsunga, and kovo. The project is benefiting over 100 people, including those with disabilities. Ame Mnangagwa commended the women for their hard work and for being a united front. Her eyes were also caught by the works being done by 32-year-old Gladys Chiutsi, a farmer with disabilities who is doing great exploits. The agricultural projects have enabled Gladys and her colleagues to earn a decent living. From the garden, Amai, who is the environment patron, proceeded to plant a mango tree of the kit variety, which grows faster than other mango tree varieties. The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mashonaland Central Province, Honorable Christopher Magomo, also followed suit. The initiative is in line with President Emmerson Mnangagwa's call for households to plant at least 10 fruit trees. The First Lady was also taken through a fish farming project, which is also thriving in the community. Dr. Mnangagwa then proceeded to Chapinduka Primary School, where she addressed scores of people from Rushinga district. In her remarks, Dr. Mnangagwa implored women to be dignified and for men to shun alcoholism and drug abuse. She also added the need to ensure that children are protected from social vices.
Gara uri muhunhu iwe munhu baba kudhakwa mazuva ese kubva na7 mini matota manoka mamikova matonumira pabhawa kusvika ridoke risvike kuma10 kuma11 ndoko kubhawa mangwana mamukirira pachine hunhu here agona yana baba nokuti kwamuri ikoko kuchanotiburisira kuchatidendera zvimwe zvichatushungurudza pakugara. Munhu ndiwe muridzi wavo, munhu ndiwe unohutakura, ndiwe unohuratidza.
Ame Mnangagwa also rallied the audience to work hard towards personal development and to inculcate into their children the spirit of working hard. Ame Mnangagwa, an environment patron, also made a call for everyone to conserve trees and grass since a lot of benefits can be derived from them. She engaged the audience in an interactive session on the importance of vegetation.
Climate change, nekupisa, nekutema, zvinhu zvinobva zvaenderana pamwe chete. Nokuti makatema miti saizvozvi uswa hapana, tinobva taita zvakadarikidzisa. Nokuti hapana chichagama chimwe. Ndaona aiwa mukutema miti, nhasi zvigume. Mumuti imomo ndimo matanga tichawana raramo yedu. Kana takutaura isu nenyaya dzenharaunda. Mumiti tinowanei vana mai nana baba vana vedu.
Oxygen weatinofema nawo. Mine mishonga miti yedu iyi itori mishonga inorapa zvakasiyana siyana. Wamwe kana warumwa nenyoka vanonzi enda unotora muti wakati, avatore hunde hwese unogona kutora midzi. Wotemerera munhu otopora asanenge arumwa nenyoka.
The First Lady also underscored the importance of traditional grains to people's health. Ame Mnangagwa spoke candidly against drug and substance abuse and child marriages, which are rampant in the province. She held an interactive session with parents and children on child marriages.
Vari pasi pemakore 18. zvine mutemo wavako wakaenda kuparamende ijere rekusabuda kubva ikoko. Ndiani kuanoti mwana ngaachienda pakati pababa naamai?
Mhosva ndoipa kunana mai kazhinji kunyanya nekuti ana mai ndisinochengeta vana vanasikana especially vanasikana mabudiro avo nemafambiro anoitwa anozikamwa nesu kuzoya kuti vana mabudiro anoenda sezvikadai ndomboona zvangu kana mama next door andogararisana navo mwana anobuda zvinozikamwa namai vake achidzoka zvinozikamwa namai baba vasingaita sei vasingazizive zvaunotozoona kuti anogona kutakura pamuviri panozonzi namai vake ngavabudiswe nhumbu inobudiswa vasingazive baba.
Isu takadzidziswa kuchikoro kuti hapana mwana anoroorwa ari pasi pe-18 years ikuzeka kuti anzi anenge achiri mwana mudiki mabhonzo ake anenge asati anyatsosimba.
In an act of benevolence, Dr. Mnangagwa donated chicks, courtesy of the Presidential Poultry Project, a grinding machine, water pipes for drip irrigation, seeds for different types of vegetables including kovo, eggplant, beetroot, hybrid tomatoes and rape to the farmers. She also gifted the district with 15 tons of maize. Everyone who attended also walked away with seed packs for different types of vegetables. Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Marshall and Central Province, Honorable Christopher Magomo, hailed Amayu for her sterling works in which she is leaving no one and no place behind.
Your commitment to the empowerment of women and your tirelessness efforts in driving positive change in the livelihoods of vulnerable groups inspires us all.
The First Lady has covered a lot of ground in the drive to empower women through agriculture, which is firmly in line with the Second Republic's Vision 2030. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Rushinga.
For these and more stories, you can visit our website. That's www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also follow us on our social media pages on X at ZBC Online, and be sure to like our Facebook page as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel at ZBC News Online.
And here are stories still to come in this bulletin. In business news, former United Kingdom Mayor Councillor Tafadzwa Chikoto charmed by Second Republic policies. And in sport, the 2024 Chibuku Super Cup draw separates giants in the first round. These and more stories coming up after the break. Stay with us.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZIG. Let's dive into what makes ZIG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZIG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show. It's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible. With denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins, it caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions, but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
Welcome back. The liberation struggle was fought from many fronts involving ground forces, which comprised the Black freedom fighters and a sophisticated air force employed by the settler regime. In our Heroes feature tonight, our Midlands Bureau Chief Tafara Chikumira explains how the freedom fighters eventually won the liberation struggle despite facing the enemy's intimidating weaponry, now housed at the National Aviation Museum in Gweru.
The history of the liberation struggle will be incomplete without mentioning obstacles placed in the path of freedom fighters, as it is through resilience and willpower that they managed to outdo a well-resourced settler who could use everything at their disposal to perpetuate the status quo. Some of the fierce weapons used by the white settler regime include fighter jets, which were used on missions that needed speed, and helicopters, which were employed during missions that required the Rhodesian forces to be closer to the ground.
We also have the English Electric Canberra, which participated together with the Hawker Siddeley Hunter on different missions, especially the one that was done or undertaken in Zambia. The hunters, a number of hunters, took turns to remain over Lusaka Airport during an attack on zebra camps that were located near Lusaka. Also, the same hunters participated during Operation Hurricane, that was in February 1973. Operation Hurricane targeted camps belonging to Zanla Liberation fighters.
The mere sound of an airplane still brings shivers to veterans of the liberation struggle as they still battle to contain memories of the past.
First battle rangu rendege nziri pa Chimoyo attack. Chimoyo attack yakaita isu tiri pa training. Saka yakanyatso kuuya yakatageta isu. Saka ndege chaiyo ine imwe sound yainobudisa so yokuti kana ichipfuura iri mudenga umu, chero ndakagara namanje unotombonzwa musoro wako kuti nombotata kuti chii chakuitika. Ndege hadzakatishungurudza.
Prove the prowess of the freedom fighters, stories are told of how many Rhodesian forces helicopters were downed, while many of them perished as the freedom fighters eventually managed to dislodge the racist regime.
Ndege dzanga dziri chikafu chedu. Chokutanga takarovana pachiteya. Pauya first situation yeMarcel Scouts. Tikarovana pamufane badza. Chiteya gomuri riri padhuze. Pakadonha mahelikopta matatu. Tikabvapo pandakaenda ndanzi ndinde, that was early 76. Ndinde kuikwa neshuro chinda mberengwa. Muna gomuri rinonzi Shanjeria iri. Pane makomuri dzakatsakatikira ipapo, ndege dzakauya sokuuya kwadzo zvachose, mavhamba, majeti, meaning to say majeti chaiwo aya anoflya amahawks nemadhakota achidonhedza. Vakatsakatikira ipapo, ipapo dzakarova, dzakasikowa. Kechi2 munoona paya tichiyambuka Rhino paya ndatobuda mambapa. Tichangoyambuka Rhino paya pangundu, tichidarika ngundu paya tichidzika tichinda kutenga. Dzakauya pakadonha 3 mahelicopter.
The National Aviation Museum also houses artifacts of the infamous Dakota plane, which used to ferry Rhodesian forces to the battlefield, and has become a source of knowledge for children and learners about the country's liberation struggle history. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
All is set for the commissioning of the Holy Cross Dam in Chirumanzu by President Emmerson Mnangagwa this Friday. Tafara Chikumira has the details.
A visit to the Holy Cross Dam site in Chirumanzu this Thursday proved that the stage is set for the official commissioning of the dam, which will be a source of livelihood to the Chirumanzu community.
It is not every day that we have the opportunity to host the head of state and government, and our preparations reflect the seriousness we attach to this important event. We have acquitted ourselves very well in the past by successfully hosting momentous occasions.
The ZANU-PF leadership weighed in, saying they are also supporting the national project through various mobilization efforts.
These projects done by the president through his vision are meant for everyone. We are inviting everyone. During our arrangements, I would say that
We've mobilized enough people to come to this event, and I expect not less than 30,000 people tomorrow as the President commissioned this important project. We are also saying that no one should be cowed away, no one should fear that they are excluded to attend. We want everyone to come and witness this magnificent project that is in line with what is happening in terms of SADC. We are in the Industrialization Week, and it's one of the projects that speaks to rural industrialization.
The Holy Cross Dam is expected to benefit the Chirumanzu community and the Midlands province at large in various sectors of the economy. Partnerships have since been forged with the Midlands State University and Chinwe University of Science and Technology to create viable business units around the dam. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Chirumanzu.
We now continue with our main news bulletin from our Montrose studios, where Marilyn Gwenya is on standby. Good evening, Marilyn.
Good evening, and it's always a pleasure to you, Tarido and Justin. And now in our following report, the establishment of a modern computer laboratory at Sababa Primary School in Insisa District has set the rural community on a transformative path.
This is Nicole Mutambiwa, a learner at Sababa Primary School in Insisa South. Like many learners from her community, Nicole had never touched a laptop in her life. However, thanks to the benevolence of the Chiwenga family, Nicole and her peers have been afforded an opportunity to learn using the digital interface presented by a newly established computer laboratory at their school.
Learners are divided into 2 sessions.
The computers have made teaching junior classes easier.
Long back it was difficult for us to draw on the board and say, show all the interest in the board, but with the use of the ICT tools, it now becomes easy. When you're talking of the lands, if you're saying these are the lands, that is an original land.
The local leadership is convinced that teaching of ICTs in rural schools will transform communities.
Lo umsebenzi omhle kangaka uzaguqula ingqondo zethu.
Sithanda ukubonga uhulumende ote wasebenza lo mntanethu ophuma la ukuze asinikeze amakhompyuta la elandelela isinqumo sikahulumende sokuthi esinye nesinye isikolo kumele sibe nama-computers ukuze abantwana abakhonapha kogodlwayo bakhanye belingana nje kuzifundo zabo.
Handing over the computer laboratory and administration block, Colonel Miniota Obaloi Chiwenga, who is wife to Vice President General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga and a former student of Sababa Primary School, said as family they are supporting the government's vision of a digitalized education system.
Into eyayenza ukuthi sikhangele indaba yamakhompyutha ukuthi uhulumende uvele waphumela egcekeni lapha engena kupower. Wathi khona asifuni kube lo muntu kumbe le ndawo ezasalela ebumva. So thina lathi sathi umongameli ubaba uMnangagwa esetsho njalo. Sazikhangela lathi ukuthi njoba ubaba esitsho njalo thina njengabantu sizenza njani ukuthi sisupporte leyo vision yakhe.
With government having adopted the heritage-based education framework, the establishment of computer laboratories like one at Sababa may set the country on a pathway to Vision 2030 of an upper middle income society. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News in Insisa District.
The swift response by government and its developmental partners to the El Nino-induced drought has yielded positive results in Matobo district as villagers in Lingwe village reap the benefits of climate adaptation projects. Our reporter Yolanda Moyo filed the following report.
At the age of 32, Begazela Duba's shoulders bear the weight of motherhood and the harsh realities of climate change in Lingwe village of Matobo district, a community grappling with the unrelenting grip of the El Nino-induced drought.
Isimo esibuhlungu kakhulu lonyaka ngoba emasimini asikhiphanga lutho. Yona i5 liter yokuthi uthi nizabeka inhlanyelo. Inhlanyelo ilahlekile. Asila inhlanyelo sithwele nzima.
Begazela's story is a common one in this drought-stricken village. However, for her and many others, a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of a climate adaptation program implemented by government and its developmental partners that brought a nutritional garden and a piped water scheme to the community, offering a lifeline during these challenging times.
Ingadi le isincedise kakhulu njengabomama, ikakhulu ekuwondleni lekufideni abantwana. Yikho lapho esithola khona ukudla okulemsoco khona lapha engadini.
Njengomama omunyisayo, mina ingadi le ngibona isincede kakhulu. Njengalonyaka khathesi bekungalaluthe emasimini. So ingadi le ilokudla kakhulu. Kuyasinika umsoco ebantwaneni, kuyasinceda kakhulu.
The United Nations Climate Crisis Coordinator for El Nino Response, Ms. Rina Gilani, interacted with vulnerable communities benefiting from the climate adaptation projects in the district and called for continued investment in sustainable climate adaptation measures.
Communities themselves are asking for not only the short term, but they're asking for a longer term future. And today we witness that when we act swiftly and then come in with assistance that provides people the opportunity to provide for themselves, we see the future of hope. And as climate disasters increase, as droughts become more frequent, this is going to be essential. So our plea to the international community is come in fast and support. We're very grateful for the money that's been provided, but we need more and we need it now.
The government has implemented a number of measures to address these challenges, such as distributing food aid, sinking boreholes, and promoting climate-smart agriculture.
We are covering approximately about 45,000 individuals in the district, giving them about 7.5 kgs of grain in batches of 3 months. And we are covering all the 25 wards in the district.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa declared the current El Nino-induced drought a state of national disaster, hence a multi-sectoral response to the challenge. Yolanda Moy, ZBC News, Matobo District.
Zimbabweans continue to take pride in their values through wearing of the national fabric and attire with national colors and symbols.
From donning the national fabric to attire that has national colors and symbols such as the Zimbabwe bird, Zimbabweans continue to demonstrate national pride. While the scarf was popularized by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, jerseys with national colors have also become a common feature at gatherings and in the streets. For Zimbabweans, national pride is more demonstrated in dressing as compared to other ways.
If flag, national symbol. Because flag is colors are required to show mirror. She knows can watch it on one arrow crash. To show mirror. Those know what happens out in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe flag with red, black, yellow. To end up red. Red inotimirira padoka parakadeuka tichirwira nyika yedu.
Tenda pa Zimbabwe bed chiredo mu Zimbabwe. Deritoona kenda pama imasvingo.
An analyst, Dr. Leopold Chakanyuka, unpacked the meaning of national emblems that include the Zimbabwe flag, the Great Zimbabwe bird, and the coat of arms, among others.
The national colors, national symbols, they represent our identity. They represent the values, the history of us as a people of Zimbabwe. I would give you an example of when you look at the national flag, the colors that are there all do have a meaning pertaining to our identity, our history, and our aspirations as a country. So when you look at that collectively, it tells a story about us as a people, that we are black people who were at some point under colonial bondage, but we fought, blood was lost, as lives were lost as a result of fighting for the independence that we now have. So when we look at that flag, it is representing us a story, a culture, a history of us, the black people.
He also spoke on the importance of taking pride in the national colors in honor of the founding principles of Zimbabwe's nationhood.
So we can trace our history, be proud of who we are, be proud of what our ancestors were able to do. The great Zimbabwe ruins that you see on the coat of arms shows that we are a people who are able to build a country. So it resonates now well with the message that is being pushed by the leadership today, that Nika inovakwa nevenevayo. Because you see it from the great Zimbabwe, The Great Zimbabwe was built by the owners of the country, the Zimbabweans.
The world over, various countries are known for unique costumes and dressing, hence the launch of the national fabric by government.
And that's it from myself, Marilyn Gwenya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. It's back to Tariro and Justin, who are on standby with more news.
Thank you very much for that, Marilyn. Now, the newly appointed Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation board members have pledged to enhance the operations of the national broadcaster in line with international standards. We get more from the following report.
The newly appointed additional board members for the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, ZBC, have pledged to use their expertise to ensure the organization delivers its strategic mandate. The new board members include broadcast media personnel, Ms. Ruveneko Parenyatwa, information technology and engineering expert, Mr. Craig Matambo, media and communications specialist, Mr. Tandolwengo Singomo, and Dr. Queen Mpofu, whose background is in finance and accounting.
We are really privileged to be a part of this board, to serve such an august organization, and we are really also mindful of the challenges that ZBC is currently facing, challenges around viability, challenges also around making sure that there's the right kind of content, challenges also around employee motivation. So we see these challenges, and we are saying we want to bring our expertise to make sure that ZBC is a viable entity, an entity that is able to serve the interests of the nation, but also making sure that the needs of listeners and viewers are prioritized.
ZBC Board Chair Ms. Harriet Rushwaya highlighted the additional board members will bolster the board's operations.
ZBC is, as the national broadcaster, is quite a big organization, and in order for us to deliver against our mandate and carry our oversight role, we also have different committees. So of the 6 committees, with the additional members, we should be able to deliver against that mandate. And also the additional board members bring a whole range of skills and capabilities which will make a huge difference to the existing board.
Other board members include Vice Board Chair Advocate Louis Uriri, Ms. Precious Chalandura, Ms. Chipo Neta, Dr. Nanit Silukuni, Dr. Henry Mukono, and Dr. Swangile Mpofu. Festus Mkongorotse, ZBC News, Harare.
In a significant boost to Zimbabwe's healthcare sector, the Russian Federation has donated essential cholera treatment kits to the Ministry of Health and Childcare, further solidifying the partnership between the two nations in the fight against public health threats.
Cooperation between Zimbabwe and the Russian Federation continues to bear fruit, with the European country's donation of cholera treatment kits to the Ministry of Health and Childcare in Harare this Thursday. The donation, comprising oral rehydration salts, intravenous fluids, antibiotics, and other essential cholera-related supplies, was received by the Minister of Health and Childcare, Dr. Douglas Mombeshwara, who emphasized that although the government has declared the cholera outbreak over, the donation will bolster recovery efforts and ensure that the country is better equipped to save lives in the event of any future cases.
The commodities are crucial for the effective management and treatment of cholera cases. These commodities will be distributed to needy districts where they will be used to avert deaths due to cholera and other diarrheal diseases. We assure you that these supplies will be utilized effectively and efficiently to combat cholera and protect the health and well-being of our citizens.
Russian Ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Mr. Nikolai Krasniqov, emphasized that the donation is testament to the strong cooperation between the two countries.
Today's handover ceremony highlights the strong bonds of solidarity between Russia and Zimbabwe, and I am proud to confirm that upon such a solid foundation, Moscow and Harare move forward along the way of developing mutually beneficial cooperation in the field of healthcare.
Meanwhile, World Health Organization country representative Dr. Desta Tirena praised Zimbabwe for its successful efforts in ending the transmission of cholera in the country.
Cholera, like many other infectious diseases, can resurface unexpectedly. Hence, maintaining the stock of cholera supplies ensures that Zimbabwe remains prepared. The donations received from the Russian Federation greatly contributes towards enhancing government's preparedness to respond swiftly should any cases arise and save lives. Honorable Minister, the supplies received from Russian Federation include, as was highlighted, various equipments and medical supplies that are essential for the treatment of cholera cases.
This timely contribution underscores the strong partnership between Zimbabwe and Russia in combating public health threats. Rivarashi Mariga, ZBC News, Harare.
Harare businessman Mike Chimombe is challenging his placement on remand in the latest case, in which he is accused of fraudulently obtaining a tender to rehabilitate streetlights in Harare.
The pair of Chimombe and Moses Mpofu, who are already on remand, were back in court this Thursday in a fresh case where they are being accused of acquiring a tender to install streetlights in Harare through fraudulent means. However, Chimombe, through his legal counsel, is challenging to be placed on remand by submitting that he has no case to answer. The court will make a ruling this Friday on whether Chimombe will be placed on remand or not, while his co-accused Mpofu has indicated that he is not opposing being placed on remand. Chimombe and Mpofu allegedly used false documents to secure a Harare City Council tender to rehabilitate streetlights in May this year. The fraud-accused businessmen allegedly misrepresented their company's compliance with public procurement regulations by resubmitting a previously used receipt despite being disqualified in an earlier bid. The court held that through misrepresentation and falsified documents, the Jos Juluka Endo joint venture company was allegedly awarded the tender. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, contrary to popular belief that persons with hearing impairments have limited abilities, they are actually capable of almost anything, including driving safely.
There are common misconceptions that people with hearing impairment cannot safely drive. This is, however, not true, as the condition does not hinder a person's ability to drive. The ZBC News crew caught up with persons with hearing impairments to understand how they confidently navigate the busy highways.
I got my license in 2020. The instructor was competent in sign language. I had to feel the vibration of the car because I can't hear the sound. So I had to focus using visual, because in sign language we focus on what we see. The first time I was very scared, thinking, hey, what if I scratch it? But I was very slow in driving. But now I can drive very well.
For Dumisani Ngomo, the urge to defy common societal misconceptions inspired him to become a professional driver.
I realized that the hearing and the deaf are equal. So it really motivated me to achieve the goal of being a professional driver. When I finished my school, and then I went for driving, most of the people were discriminating me, saying the deaf can't drive. Now I have my license, class 4. The challenges that I have been facing with the police, they speak to me, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the times we struggle in communication.
Tinotinda Nikati has post-lingual hearing loss, but is able to speak.
Other people vanongotaura kuti ndinonyepa kuti ndiri deaf, but proof ndondozotaura kuti kana ndakutaura nawo takatarisana ari lips. Sometimes ndinopfeka hearing aids kana ndichitrava chida out kana chida kure kana nobra wayo kana water Victoria Falls ndinopfeka hearing aid. Asi kana ndiroka munhu handipfeki because why? Ndino sound ndinoise inotemedza musoro saka handipfeki. So other people vanoti anotaura anonyepa asi deaf, but sure mukati dzenzenzwa zviri kure
Their unique stories resonates with the saying, the sky is the limit when it comes to one's potential. Festus Mkongoro says ZBC News, Harare.
On that note, we take a break. When we come back, we'll be giving you the business news.
Ndinonzi mai Mwachande ndogara kuChegutu tiri kuhodhawo kurima senda vanotidzidzisa maitirikiro acho kuti dzinyatsoita zvakanaka munoita sei tinotenga chikafu ikoko madhiringa vanotipa mafidha mishonga yacho zvese ndiri kufara notukudza acho aiwa dziri kukura zvakanaka dzakanaka aiwa zvakarongeka vari kutidetsera chaizvo kurima senda kurima kune mari zveshuwa tiri kutozvionera tega
75 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again. Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Upgrade to Compact for $29 per month to get all the Premier League football action.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Several Zimbabweans in the diaspora are making significant strides in promoting the country's image and luring foreign direct investment into the country. One of them is a former Kobe Town mayor in the United Kingdom, Zimbabwean-born Councillor Tafadzwa Chikoto, who holds the record of being the first ever black mayor of that town in its history. Our business reporter, Owen Mondova, has the details.
On the sidelines of the SADC Industrialization Week here in the capital, Harare, I was fortunate to meet one of the iconic Zimbabweans who has got the record of the first ever black mayor of Kobe Town in the United Kingdom. That is Councillor Tafadzwa Chikoto. He is attending the SADC Industrialization Week in order to promote Zimbabwe's investments locally and also abroad. Councillor Chikoto, your record is the first ever black mayor of Kobe Town in the United Kingdom. Just walk us through it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here today. I'm so honored, and I'm so honored mostly to be back home. Indeed, it's true. I've been a mayor in the United Kingdom, and I'm privileged to have become the first ever black mayor. It was not out of my own making. I think it was just because of God's grace. I always give glory to God. And it was a good experience. Good learning experience. I have been in the council for some time, learning, and up to the point of becoming a mayor. My biggest achievement to date, I would think, is inspiring the next generation of young BAME, black and ethnic minority children, to know that if you set your mind to anything, you can achieve it. And that's what I'm so grateful for during my tenure.
Under the Second Republic, we've seen that we have got many diasporans who are also promoting Zimbabwe outside of its borders. Just tell us, in your case, to what extent have you managed to drive the narrative of Zimbabwe's being open for business by drawing some investments into the country?
Of course, you will know I am a big advocate for investment right here into Zimbabwe. Can I just say I'm so grateful to our Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, His Excellency, Comrade Edi Mnangagwa, for the work that he's doing to open up this space for us to do business. Now, I want to speak directly to my colleagues Zimbabweans in any part of the world in the diaspora community to say you need to take this seriously. We have been given this opportunity and we must grab it. The Second Republic is serious about allowing its citizens to take occupation of this space. The president, when he says that this country is open for business, he means it. You have a right to be a participant in this economy, to drive it forward. And that is what I stand for. I'm well known in my own communities for advocating for people to invest here in Zimbabwe.
Councillor Chikoto has made Zimbabwe proud in terms of promoting the national flag by being the first ever black person to become the mayor of Kobe Town in the United Kingdom. I'm Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's business. Next is sport with Anashe Murombedzi after these messages.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at a discount. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will display the discount you qualify for. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies you won't find anywhere else. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
Zimbabwe will proudly host the 44th Ordinary SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government on August 17, 2024 in Harare. Preceding this landmark event are crucial meetings of SADC senior officials and the Council of Ministers setting the agenda for the summit. ZBC will cover all the action from these preparatory meetings to the summit itself across its TV, radio, and digital platforms. Advertisers are encouraged to seize this significant opportunity to enhance their brand's visibility locally and regionally through tailored advertising packages during the SADC meetings and summit. For more details on advertising opportunities, please contact Mildred on 071 831 177 or Wilson on 0775 902 040 or email sales@zbc.co.zw.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anashe Murombedzi here with the latest in the world of sport. Giants have been separated in the first round of the 2024 Chibuku Super Cup after a draw was conducted in Harare.
The 2024 Chibuku Super Cup is set to roll into life next week with a preliminary round matches set for Mandava Stadium after a draw was conducted this Thursday. The draw was based on how the teams stood as at match day 17, which was the halfway marker. The bottom four teams then, Chegutu Pirates take on Hwange, while Tier 1 face Areneo, all on the 7th of August for a chance to qualify for the first round. The first round matches will be played on the weekend of 17 and 18 August, with log leaders FC Platinum hosting the winner between Tier 1 and Areneo Movers, while Manika Diamonds face the winner between Chegutu Pirates and Hwange. PSO champions against the Platinum Stars, Det Blaue Chiefs, while Simba Bora Beto Herentals. Defending champions Dynamos will kick off their trophy defense by hosting ZPC Kariba as Bigita Minerals tackle Cape United and Chikenin facing Yada FC. The clubs are excited about the new possibilities.
We have been making preparations and planning because we knew we were going to compete on all three fronts, and hence the preparations we've been making are such that we are competitive on all three fronts. So we're quite confident regarding our performance on all three fronts.
We've been enjoying playing Chibuku, even when we are not that good in the premiers in the league sometimes. But when it comes to Chibuku, we've been doing well, and it's going to be the same this year around.
Winning at the Chibuku Super Cup has some added incentives.
The winner of this cup will represent the country in the CAF Confederations Cup, like what Dynamos are doing this year. So it's a very, very important cup, and we are very, very grateful to the sponsors. We have always been with us, and we are also excited about what is happening and the attendance of the fans to the stadium, and this year we expect it even to be more.
Dynamos are the defending champions of the competition. Lawrence Trusera, ZBC News, Harare.
Unpredictable Herentals are determined to find their winning formula when they face ZPC Kariba at Rufaro Stadium in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League match this Saturday.
Known for being giant killers, the Herentals have struggled to find consistency this season. After 21 games, they sit in the top 8 with 27 points, having managed 6 wins, 9 draws and 6 losses. The students enter match day 22, smarting from a disappointing 3-1 defeat to league leaders FC Platinum, which came after another loss to Arenal Movers. Desperate to turn their fortunes around, Herentals are aiming to find their winning formula to maintain a safe position in the Premiership.
We have said that this year we're going to try and finish in the top 8, because last year we finished on number 8, and we need to better that position. And there's no excuse for failing to do that. So we're going to work very hard in all these remaining games to be able to win or to draw and get at least a point or 3 points, so that at least we achieve what we want.
Their opponents, ZPC Kariba, are 2 places behind them in the standings with 25 points from 4 wins, 13 draws and 4 losses.
Another ambitious side, Premier Soccer League outfit Black Chiefs, are hoping to put their woes behind them and collect maximum points when they face Harare Giants Dynamos in a match set for Barberfield Stadium on Sunday.
The Twitter boys, as Bulawayo Chiefs are affectionately known, will be looking to turn the tide after losing 3 of their second-round matches. Chiefs currently find themselves on 14th position on the Premier Soccer League log with 23 points, and coach Tulani Sibanda is refusing to press the panic button yet.
Of course, we haven't been posting good results because of we are in a transition period. We had quite a number of players leaving, especially those that were in the starting lineup, about 7 of those boys. So in trying to integrate the new guys, obviously it's going to be a transition period that will need a little bit of some time for them to understand what we're trying to do. So unfortunately we have had big games coming up, like if you see the Islanders game, Yata away, now Dynamos, but I think we are slowly improving.
Chiefs players still believe they can get it right.
It's a big game for us as a club, as Black Chiefs. Since we played our last game, we lost. Coming to this one, it's a big game on paper, because we're playing Dynamos, but we are going to give it a fight. We are going to do what's best. That's why we are preparing all these days. So udlulile, but sengikhangela le game, so kumele ngiyawork hard ku-training every day, so ngikhangela le game le ukuthi konke kuzangihambela sharp.
Action begins this Saturday with the Rentals dating ZPC Kariba at Rufaro, while Chicken Inn will be out seeking to bounce back to winning ways in a home clash with Manica Diamonds. Defending champions against the Platinum Stars host Greenfield at Baobab, while Simba Bora Detiata FC at Wazanai. On Sunday, Bikita Minerals face Arno Movers at Sakuva, while Caps United host Log Leaders FC Platinum at Rufaro. Chegutu Pirates welcome Highlanders at Baobab, while Tail 1 and Wangelo Horns at Bata Stadium. Mtokozi Stube, ZPC News, Bulawayo.
That's it from the Sports Corner. Now let's take a look at the weather.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to today's weather report and forecast. My name is Baba Maketa. It was cloudy in the morning with a cold breeze over the southern parts of the country as well as the northeastern parts of the country. However, as the day progressed, these clouds dissipated and it was mostly sunny throughout the country. Temperatures during this time rose to the warm category. Tomorrow we're expecting it to be cloudy over the eastern parts of the country, that is in areas of Mashingo, Manicaland, Mashonaland East, Mashonaland Central, as well as Harare Metropolitan and some parts of Midlands. The western parts of the country and the extreme north are expected to be mostly sunny and cold in the morning, becoming warm as the day progresses. For the temperatures in detail, we're expecting Harare to have a minimum of 8 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 28 under mostly sunny conditions. Bulawayo 10 and 31, Gweru 6 and 27, Mutare 7 and 28, Kwekwe minimum of 9 and maximum of 31, Kadoma 7 and 30. Mashingo should start off at 8 degrees Celsius in the morning to record a maximum of 26 in the afternoon. Shinoi 9 and 30, Lupane 7 and 32, Bindura 8 and 29, Marondra 4 and 25, Gwanda 10 and the maximum of 29 in the afternoon. In our major holiday resort areas, Victoria Falls should be sunny with a maximum of 32 in the afternoon and a minimum of 8, Kariba 16 and 32, Great Zimbabwe 8 and 26, Nyanga 4 and 21 under cloudy conditions, Matobos 8 and 29, Chimanimani a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. And the day after tomorrow, we're expecting it to start clearing over the eastern highlands, and clouds should only remain over the northern parts of Manicaland, Mashonaland East, as well as Mashonaland Central provinces, while the rest of the country should maintain mostly sunny conditions. That is all from the Weather Day Zimbabwe. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your viewing.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's news bulletin. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.